Good morning, everybody. It is May 16th, Sunday, about 11:10, almost 11:15. I have been up since, well, I originally got up at 9:30 to help Mom get her stuff into the car so they can take their trip, but she had already basically got most of her stuff ready and told me I didn't need to be up to help her. So I went back to bed, but woke up automatically on my own at 10:25, thereabouts. Came out here to see what was going on, see if Mom had departed safely. She was still waiting for her friend to come by and pick her up. And she had already moved all her stuff towards the mudroom door to make it easier to get into the her car. But they're off and running. They've been out up here since about 10:30, 10:35, thereabouts. About half an hour later than Mom really wanted to, but Mom can only do so much until her friend is ready to go, because her friend has things to do around their house and issues, personal things that they have to deal with, all that fun stuff. Jerry and I slept really good last night, or at least Jerry Ann did. I don't know about me, the way I'm feeling because of my shoulder and whatnot, because of the way I slept on it. But so far, Jerry Ann's doing a whole lot better. I think what's helping her a lot, especially when it comes to mobility, is I dug out her old walker from when she had her knee surgery back in 2011. Or was it 2010? I think it was 2011. It was the year after her father passed away. So she's able to get around a little bit easier with the walker. I was looking at our bed last night because I know our bed is a little bit higher than higher than she needs it to be, which makes it a little bit more difficult for her to get in and out of bed. So I was looking at the bed last night. I was like, if I take the rollers off the bed, that should drop it down a good half inch or more, making it easier for her to get in and out of bed without having to jump into bed or slide out of bed. The sliding out of bed is a problem because it causes the mattress to shift, or even just trying to get into bed because she's pushing against the mattress. So I'm looking at all the different things I can do to make it easier on her. We are still planning on going to visit the doctor, because we want to know exactly what the thing is, what the problem is. But she was telling me last night the pain was subsiding, and she wasn't really taking anything extra than normal. By the time it started to subside, of course, she was taking Advil every 4 to 6 hours or something like that, just to, make the pain bearable. I personally think, and it's just me personally thinking, that it was a combination of just the bad, nasty weather we were having yesterday anyhow, because my arthritis and whatnot was flaring up due to barometric pressure, because I am sensitive to that for some oddball reason. That and a factor, I did do some research last night on sleep studies, and I found out one of the particular sleep studies that they did was a lot of people who sleep on their sides, because of our body shape and whatnot. When the legs are not parallel to each other, they're off kilter because the hip is being pulled up, while the knees are being pushed down, which causes both knee and hip issues. And they did the sleep study, and they said people who put a pillow in between their legs, right over their knee, seem to sleep a whole lot better, because they don't wake up with aches and pains due to the hip basically being popped out of whack. I can contest that, because the information says when the legs aren't parallel, you can develop any aches and pains from the ankle to the smaller back, to the lower back, smaller back. I don't know why I said smaller. To the lower back, because it's basically the nerves are getting pinched due to the hip being pulled out of its socket. It could cause anything from hip dysplasia over long term to the soft tissue that basically protects the bone, so the bone is not bone on bone when the hip is moving around in the socket. A whole lot of different things that could happen because of poor body posture while sleeping. I never thought that could be a thing. But growing up when I was younger, I do remember I slept mostly on my back. I don't do that anymore due to being married and whatnot, even though our bed is big enough that I could sleep on my back. But something in the brain says you're married, give your spouse room to roll around if they need to. You know, I never thought I would be so considerate to another person in the same bed. I always figured when I slept, my body would be like, oh, you're asleep, sprawl out, be comfortable, blah, blah, blah. No. I will lose some of my comfort just so the other person can be happy. Whether that's instinctive, ingrained, whatever. I don't know. But she seems to be doing a little bit better today. She's still waking up, so I won't be able to tell her or know until she's fully awake. Which I can understand because I'm the same way. It's like when I first wake up, it's like, oh, But today is Sunday. Today is one of the days we designated as a rest and recuperation day, or R&R. I'm just gonna say R&R. It's easier for me. So basically, the plan is to do no major projects or anything like that. Just basic. Take out trash if it needs to be taken out. Deal with the dishes when they need to be dealt with. No projects. No heavy lifting. No stressful concentration or mathematics or anything like that. Yesterday was fun trying to figure out mathematics just so we can draw up our bedroom and all the components going into the bedroom so we can play around with the individual components after cutting them out of the page just to see where they would fit. That was fun because me and Jerry had to work together because my math was off. So yeah, but we sat down, we got the big drafting paper out to do it because the small drafting paper was not big enough. It was too difficult to figure out the math. The math wasn't working. So, today, depending on how Jerry feels, how I feel, what we decide to do, whether we're going to do something together as a couple, being mom's side of the house, whether we're going to sit down and watch TV and play on our devices, or she can watch her shows while I come in here and work on whatever. I don't know. I'm kind of in the mood to just play games all day. Why? I don't know. Maybe because of the fact that I want to be in the same room Jerry is in, just to keep her under my watchful eye, just so she doesn't have to worry about doing whatever. I don't know yet. It's one of those kind of like, what do I do? I know it's kind of hard for me to just sit down and do nothing because of hyperactivity and ADHD. I don't use those as a crutch, so don't think I'm using it as a crutch. But I've learned that not just myself, but there's a whole group of people who have ADHD of one form or another, or hyperactivity, or both, that easily distracted, hard to sit still. Um, Adult ADHD, which is a thing. Um, most adults who have adult ADHD are are either workaholics or just busybodies, however you want to put it, or just like me. I've got a list of projects going on, and I want to try to do them all at the same time and as quickly as possible so I can move on to my next chapter or whatever you want to call it. And it makes it very hard for me to sit down and stay still. It makes it frustrating, not only for Jenny Ann, but myself, because I just feel like do it, get it done, get it out of the way, move on to the next thing. And when I've got time and energy, giving a person with ADHD and hyperactivity time and the energy is it can be very frustrating for the individual, especially if they don't have a guide or a path or whatever to use up the energy and whatnot. But that factor, giving somebody with ADHD who's already awake and have energy and give them a cup of coffee is like adding diesel fuel to a fire that's already out of control. Yeah. It's probably one of the reasons why I'm skinny. Not the coffee factor, but the ADHD and hyperactivity. Because I'm pretty sure if I did not have ADHD or hyperactivity, after some of the foods I ate back in New York, I probably would be a whole lot rounder in the gut than I am now. That hyperactivity, which is basically, from what I was told, it's like an overactive thyroid gland that's producing a whole lot more of the chemicals it produces to keep the body from being, no, was it thyroid? I don't know, something being produced in the brain or a certain part of the body that literally causes your body to burn off more energy or more fatty foods than the average person. So it's something that cannot just be simply treated. It's basically a chemical or somehow your brain is hardwired to just burn off excess fats. So I don't know, but I have plans to, basically my plans for the day. I said it once before, I'm going to say it again. Yeah, man makes plan, God laughs. My plans for today is to basically keep an eye on Jada, make sure she has everything she needs. And when she finally gets, not that I'm trying to irritate her to the point where she tells me to go away. If I don't feel like sitting down and watching TV with her, I might come in here and plug my earphones in and listen to my music while doing something, because I'm going to leave my door open, which, leave your door open and play your music, or leave your door open and use earphones, or keep your door closed and play music. I want to be able to hear her if she needs me. Of course, I'll probably tell her if she needs me to page me, call my phone, send a text message, something like that. So I'm just kind of like, I am not 100% sure what I'm going to be doing today. I just know that I probably can't really read in the living room unless I put my earplugs in to drown out the sound, because depending on what she's watching depends on how easily distracted I will be. I don't know. It's an open day, basically, so I can either sit around and do nothing, or I can watch TV or do something. Coffee's kicking in, my hyperactivity is kicking in, and I'm gonna stop drinking this because I can tell my stomach is not getting happy. So I'm just, yeah. Maybe I shouldn't have had coffee this morning. Maybe I should have had just water. I don't have any juice because Jerry doesn't like me drinking juice because of the sugar levels. So, right. Excuse me for a moment. Oh, yes. Mom's off and away to her day. Well, she won't be back till Monday, so she's spending the night over in Illinois. So, if I don't get word from Mom by at least 12:30, 1 o'clock, maybe 1:30, or let's just put it this way: if I don't hear from, if Jerry Ann and I don't get a text message saying that she got to her destination safely by about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I will probably send her a text message. Oh, good, there's a little bit of soda left. I will probably either send her a text message or on our phones we have a family share plan, which basically means if any one of us are away for too long or on a road trip, we can easily punch a button that says find my phone, and see where the phone that you're tracking or want to track is at, just to make sure that they're mobile and safe. Of course, that just kind of tells you where the phone is, doesn't tell you if they're safe or not. But for me, for the most part, if the blip that represents the phone is mobile, and since I know Mom's not by herself, I'm going to be, okay, she's doing good, she didn't have an accident or anything like that. Or I'll just send her a text going, hey, where are you? Because I know Mom's not driving. Mom can answer her, look at her phone and answer it. But Mom's old school, so instead of using her GPS mapping on her phone, she went online last night, looked up all the directions and information how to get to her destination, the hotel, and she talked about stopping at some sort of bakery on the way home to get some baked goods. She basically mapped that all out on the computer and had paper printouts of directions, and I just kind of went, okay. I understand why she's doing that, because Mom is easily frustrated by technology if it doesn't work the way she wants to. How many of us aren't? Most of us usually go, okay, this thing ain't working right, it's no good, it's a piece of trash. And I'm kind of like, well, if you felt like that, why don't you just, why'd you get a smartphone? Why don't you just find one of those old school flip phones? Well, that's because T-Mobile and most companies don't use those old school flip phones. Those are what most people call burner phones, because they're go to your local gas station or your local convenience store and pick one up and pay for it, and then buy a phone card to pay for phone time. And I don't like those phones, but for those of us who need them and can't afford a smartphone, they're better than nothing. Anyhow, was there anything else? I don't know. Sorry. Like I said, my brain is woken up, and it's. I got the caffeine jumpstart coffee brain syndrome where I'm just kind of like, whoa, there it goes again. I'm sorry, folks. I'm literally like heads everywhere. Oh, okay. As I talked about in the beginning, our Jerry's health situation is a whole lot better. So I thank all of you for your advice, your well wishes, your prayers, all that fun stuff, that you've been graciously giving up. Sorry. I can say this much with a fair sure. I can't get my words together. I can say this with conviction and strong belief that I strongly believe that a lot of the prayers and whatnot that you've been putting up for Jerry has helped tremendously. A lot of people sit there and go, there's no real power in prayer. Well, my experience, if you got the right number, if you got the right people praying for the right reasons, the power of prayer can be tremendously effective over modern day science and medicine. We can go back and look at the Old Testament. If I can remember names properly, and I think no, not Joseph. Sorry, I cannot remember the biblical person's name because I'm having trouble with names as is. But Joshua. Joshua was told by God, march around the walls of Jericho, and on the seventh, march around the walls of Jericho, and at a certain time, blow your horn, and the walls of Jericho will come down. They will fall down. That was based on belief. That was based on strong belief and strong prayer. Jesus himself, he cured people because he strongly believed in the power of God. Whether it's the power of prayer, whether it's just the factor that, knowing that there's a very powerful, all-encompassing person out there that will do what they say they're going to do. I mean, I cannot pinpoint a I mean, we have all different beliefs out there. We have all different systems out there. We have all different kinds of spirituality and whatnot out there. Whether you want to call it Christianity, Mohammedanism, Buddhism, Confucianism, the Jewish beliefs. Native Americans had beliefs in one thing or another. And you had the old school religions before Christianity. The Romans had their deities, the Greeks had their deities, the Norse people had their deities, the Celts, Druids, they had their deities. The closest religion I can think of that is not a Christian religion that comes very much close to Christianity, the Native Americans. Yes, they prayed to or thanked or worshipped various elements of nature, but they had their belief in a all-powerful central deity. I can't remember what they called him off the top of my head without looking at Mary Summer Rain's books. But in the Native American culture, a bison skull they drew some sort of symbol on the forehead of the skull, was the physical representation of their central God, their one main God. Well, Christians have theirs. It's the cross. But whatever method of prayer that you guys used, whether it's a straight up Christian on your knees type prayer, or the Native Americans used they used to burn basically almost like an incense or sage or something like that to send their prayers up into smoke into heaven. It works. It really works. And I appreciate I appreciate all of it. I really do. So, thank you for everything you guys have done for us. I try to repay it. Or if I don't repay it directly to the person who did it to me or for me, I try to pay it forward. I don't know if you've ever seen them. I can't remember the name of the movie now, but there's a movie with a similar concept of paying it forward. And that's just a simple thing. If you get a gift or whether it's expected or unexpected, and most gifts in my brain are unexpected, because if you're expecting a gift, it's no longer a gift. It's more of a, this is what you wanted type thing. But you can pay it forward in any way you can, whether it's a financial pay it forward, whether it's you've asked for prayer, they gave it to you, and then you paid it forward to another person, or paid it back to the person who gave it to you in the first place. A prayer, whether it's a requested prayer or not, that they need some form of prayer, or however you want to put it. That's what I try to do. So, I don't remember all the names, because there's a lot of you who posted on my last video. But I will go back and look at those names, and I will write them down in my book. And any kind of requests, I will try to help you out with that. So, wow. Excuse me, my nose itched. Anyhow, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you want. I like I said in my last video, I stopped worrying about thumbs up, thumbs down. But if you have any questions, comments, or even a request, if there's a request you think I can help you out with, unfortunately, most of the things I can help you out with right now are just words. I have no real extra finances or anything like that to pay for it or anything like that. But I had several weeks to a month ago, someone requested that I do a shout out for a birthday. I can do it. I can do stuff like that. Go ahead and put them in the question comment box. If you're new to my channel and choose to join the other subscribers who are enjoying my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. A little bell will pop up, and you click on that bell, and YouTube will let you know when I put in my next video. Until next time, have a good day. God bless. Thank you. Bye.